Short, bald, and angry.
You sometimes find that your dreams get in the way of your dream. Get out of here! Dreams blocking dreams. Dreams preventing my dreams from dreaming. Get out of here, Baldy! He called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys.
I'm a shooter, goddammit.
Cross me again, I'll put a bullet through your head!
Not that kind of shooter. I'm a peace-loving shooter. A cameraman. I might appear to be short, bald, and angry on the outside, but I assure you I am tall, happy, and handsome on the inside. I am a walking contradiction. Let's get this thing started. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 16 of the Short, Bald, and Angry podcast. I'm your host, Ian Cinco. Today's guest is Stank Nitty. When I first met Stank, he was going by the name Sanity. And as the story behind the name goes, when he was growing up, people would call him insane. So one day he decided to empower himself by calling himself Sanity. But just a few months ago, he changed his name to Stank Nitty. So I probably shouldn't even be shouting out his old name, but I just love that story, and I had to share it. Stank Nitty is just a great fucking guy. There's no better way to put it. You'll hear on this episode he's had a tough life and has some wild stories to tell, but I might be meeting him at the best possible time. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing he's at a high point in life. No marijuana, though. In fact, the dude is totally sober and living that healthy vegan lifestyle. And best of all, he's linked up with the creative genius Deuce ELLIS, and the two are releasing their first album, Murder of Crows. This Sunday at the Delancey, starting at 8, running to midnight, there will be the Murder of Crows release celebration bonanza. Stank Nitty times Deuce ELLIS or Murder of Crows. Come witness and celebrate the spectacle of this gritty, pulsing collaboration. Stank Nitty's dark storytelling meets Deuce's soundscapes for an 11-track blaze of glory, mayhem, and madness, with features from Rockness Monster, Anna Diorio, and Kenyatta Black. The Crows will gather at 168 Delancey Street, New York City's iconic The Delancey, hosted by Skanks the Rap Martyr, with legendary DJ Jay Ronan, and the Ones and the Twos, and performances by Kenyatta Black, Sav Kills, Danny Diablo, and Lord Willin. Make sure you check out Stank Nitty's live performance accompanied by Deuce ELLIS at the end of this episode, and all the links are in the description. Follow this guy, and follow Deuce ELLIS and Cult Classics. And are you ready for it? Also consider donating to my Patreon. There's no gift better than money, am I right? But speaking of gifts, consider buying my book, or prints of whatever art of mine that you like, or commission me. You know, do you like the Photoshop portraits I've been doing of my guests? They're undeniably cool, and I can't wait to collect them into a book. Hire me to make one for you. Or speaking of gifts again, must be Christmas or something, commission me to make a Photoshop of your loved ones. All of them. Prices start at $60 and can go up to $300, depending on how involved you want the Photoshop to be. I can do package deals if you want to get your whole family in there. Yeah, but reach out immediately if you want this in time for Christmas. But also keep in mind, as long as I'm alive, I will always be willing to do this for you. Don't forget I'm out here. I'm always willing to work for you. Alright, I'm on a deadline for another job right now, so I'm going to keep this intro brief this week. Without further ado, I bring you the homie, Stank Nitty. Everything now is on the record.
Actually, might as well, right? Should I?
Yeah, why not, man?
True.
Like the live performance weren't dope because they didn't get to hear the music.
I don't mind. It's up to you. It's your call. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
You ready for me to start firing questions off?
Oh yeah.
So welcome, man.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we started off with a performance. That was dope.
We started off with the performance so I can make sure that I remembered everything, even though I didn't.
Just make sure you're talking close to that mic, man.
This one right here?
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to adjust it before we get totally in it?
We're good.
You're all right?
Can I pull this for?
Yeah, pull that to you.
Oh.
Get comfy.
Because this is the non-performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is it's starting to feel like a recording studio a little bit, slowly. So who do I have here, man? I met you were Sanity. Now you're Stank Nitty, right?
I'm Stank Nitty because it just sounds so much better. And it's more presidential, and I'm a president now, so.
President Stank?
President,
Or President
Stank.
Nitty?
President Stank.
Just the whole thing?
I can fuck with that. You know what I mean?
You two came up with that together. We still have Deuce ELLIS in the studio too.
Yeah.
Is this a studio? What do you call this room? The living room? It's the T-Rex room? The dinosaur room?
My name's Stank Nitty.
Rex
Do you
room?
think I'm
The Rex
domestic enough to like make these calls?
Huh? You're witty with words, man.
Something like that.
I believe I would use a word, something you would
I
throw out.
try. I don't actually.
So
I try not to try. It's my everyday struggle.
So I met Deuce over at Gamba Forest, man.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
I had seen your
Doing
book
shows.
way before I met you, though, and when I met you, I was a little starstruck.
Oh yeah?
If I'm gonna be honest. Oh yeah.
You saw it in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. I saw it in Caffeine Underground. No shout outs to Caffeine Underground.
Oh, you saw it there, man.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. You never told me that, man.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You did that?
The book. The thick book, Erotica, yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've actually met a couple people now who've seen the book at Caffeine Underground, so that was a wise place to drop
That's one
it.
good thing about that place.
Yeah, man. I like that place.
I could go off about that, but that's a boring
I don't want to.
subject.
Yeah, I don't want to throw any place under the bus right now, man. I like that shop.
If the bus is going by, though, I mean, I'm
Just
saying,
push. Might as well push something.
Throw it all. Let's throw me under the bus.
How could I throw you under the bus, man?
I don't know.
I don't want to. If you feel like you're thrown under the bus at all during this podcast, know that it's an accident.
No, I'll just.
There she
speaking in
goes.
riddles for the people. No, I like that. I like that. It's good ambience.
So let's just dive into like what project is coming up. We're gonna release this a little bit later, but we're talking about Murder of Crows releasing. What is it?
Murder of
It's
Crows.
you're not calling it an album, right?
Murder of Crows is me and Deuce.
Yeah.
It's an experience, and it's a world, an environment that you can become immersed and saturated in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people avoid madness for salvation. I like to just like completely wrap myself in it.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can make sense of half the stuff I do.
Just go
Just
to
wrap
it.
myself
Go
in
right
the
in the madness.
fucking the warm, cozy blanket of madness.
That's how you find your
chaos,
sanity.
Paranoia. That's how I know that I am a lawmaker and a being of order. You know what I mean? But also, it's just something I've never been able to avoid, if I'm to be perfectly honest.
Your world is just crazy.
My world has been, I mean, like, I wouldn't say crazy.
Hectic.
I don't like that
turbulent,
word.
Chaotic.
I mean, that word.
Yeah,
I would
you don't
say
like
it's
that
all
word.
new.
Yeah.
It's new every day. It's full of wild cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This whole world is narrated by this awesome character, Stank Nitty.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's not cool anymore. He's peace Deuce.
What did Morgan Freeman do?
Even when you got Stank.
I think he got called out a little bit with the Me Too shit.
Well, let me tell you something.
Nothing
Let me
too
tell-
hard. He's just grimier than you thought he was.
Let me tell you something. All right. Yeah, all that shit is bad. But if anybody was deluded into thinking that that shit was not considered completely acceptable, I mean, I'm not. None of it is acceptable. But we're a society that's come out of a state of confusion that, yes, these people deserve to be vilified, if I'm using that word correctly.
Some of them. Maybe not all of them.
Ostracized,
Yeah.
separated from, like, singled out,
Called out.
and punished. You know what I mean? But, you know, not you. I'm talking to the audience. Fuck your dad too. You know what I mean? And your grandpa, definitely your great grandpa, and probably like your grandpa just as much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that shit is just the state of what we as like we've like masculinity has been completely stained with hatred. You know what I mean? So just get ready for more shit to come out about everybody. You know what I mean? If anybody wants to know about all the awful things I've done, like I'm not on this podcast, but just hit the DMs, ask me, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the
yeah, we're not here to
motherfuckers did not know
drag your
different,
name through
and
the
I'm
Me
not
Too movement,
defending
man.
them. I'm just saying, like, guess what? Morgan Freeman, goddamn, everybody, bro. That's what, like, I can't wait for Bernie Sanders' fucking sex scandal. You know what I mean?
That one will break my heart. I don't want to know about that one.
Man, fuck
I'll turn
him.
my eye. No,
Fuck
I love
all
that,
of them.
man.
They're all eating babies with the Pope somewhere right now. Him and Trump and all them shit. All them
Bernie
motherfuckers.
is pure.
Nah, that's not true. Bernie's all about money. Come on, man. Like you can't really like run for president unless you've like fucking gone to all these meetings where you gotta like fucking like touch Satan's pee and fucking you know what I mean, like fucking rape and murder people and all kinds of shit.
I know Alex Jones would agree with that, but
Alex Jones, I mean, like that's some hidden in plain sight shit. That's all. Like that guy doesn't actually know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just reading a script, but a lot of the stuff he's saying,
it's out there.
It's out there, but a lot of it's
Truth is out there.
happening. You know what I mean? And his job is to make you think it's not happening by being someone so fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like I remember when the whole he went to Bohemian Grove and all that shit, and all I could think was, oh, that's cute. They let him in. He probably grew up there. That's good.
Alex Jones?
Yeah, all these motherfuckers.
Well,
like, look at him.
loves calling him out, but you think
he
might
looks
grown
like
up
his
there.
family's been inbreeding for fucking 2,000 years. Of course, he's fucking part of this fake royalty fucking vampire club. You know?
Yeah. his hidden agenda is that he's just trying to get back at his family.
No, his hidden agenda is that he looks so fucking crazy that no one will believe him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he mixes some
true,
like
man.
he's gonna go talk about frogs are becoming gay because of the government or some shit, and then like that's absolutely ridiculous. And then when he says people are being burned alive by a bunch of fucking elite people wearing red cloaks, they don't believe him. But that's happening. Frogs are just not turning gay because of the government. You know what I mean?
So I already had Deuce Ellis on the podcast, and
Yes.
he explained what the murder of crows in. It's like a flock of geese, only to murder of crows.
It's a
But
murder
do you
of
want to talk
crows.
more about it yourself? Do you want to talk about
I have a really deep relationship with animal spirits. I don't like to use the term spirit animal because
Yeah.
I'm not a Native American.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for them. But I would say that animals teach me a lot of stuff, especially birds. And I'm always looking for crows in areas with crows. I have 2 crows tattooed on me.
Are these the
Both
crows?
both on the right side of my body. No, this is a crow, and this is a crow. This
Okay.
is a vulture.
Okay.
You
So
know
you
what
got
I
one
mean?
crow on your forehead and a vulture on the other side and
Yeah.
a crow on your thumb.
Yeah.
You got a
And-
lot of tattoos, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just
Most-
joined
most of
the
them are
club with
free.
my first tattoo, and I am looking to get more. I don't know where
Yeah.
yet.
It's worth it. I mean, like if you like tattoos,
I do.
I got mad respect for people who have no tattoos.
No, I want them. I like them.
You know.
So, so you don't want to call yourself, you don't say that you have a spirit animal, but do you identify yourself as an animal?
If I were
A particular animal
God,
besides
I
a
don't
bird?
know.
But you just look to them.
Maybe
for
like
their amazing creatures.
some kind of like really uncoordinated cat. Like a cat that was like thrown off a motorcycle as a child or something.
That's you.
I don't know. It depends. Like you could ask me that question every 10 minutes for the rest of my life, and I'd
You
have a different answer.
Yeah.
But I look to animals for answers in my
Yeah.
surroundings, and I look to plants for answers in my surroundings, and I look at what's around, and I look at stop signs. I look at everything for signs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I let the world talk to me.
You definitely seem like a guy who knows a lot of things. You know about a lot of things.
People keep saying that.
No, you do, because it's apparent in your rap, the word, like how many things you're talking about, and even just that plant you posted the other day. Like I would walk right by that plant and not not have any idea what it was.
Yo, that was crazy. You want to hear about how I know about that plant?
What is that plant?
So that is
and how do you know about it?
Datura, aka Jimson weed.
Okay.
It is what they call a deliriant.
Like psychedelic?
Well,
Or
psychedelic
more like
is a
a-
very specific thing.
More like
A deliriant is more of a hallucinogen.
like
But
absinthe?
nah, bro. Like deliriants make you think everything you're seeing is real.
Okay.
Like it just registers as normal, commonplace. I literally thought I was on fire.
So you are hallucinating. You are
Like,
hallucinating, but you also
That's
think
that
it's real.
shit that makes you think that you're at home with your mom drinking a glass of milk and you're actually in someone's house killing everybody.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
That weed you saw on the
Yeah,
street. This was just growing on a
absolutely.
Brooklyn street, or was it Queens?
It was Brooklyn.
It was Brooklyn.
I don't know the difference in some areas.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so it was one of those. I had a lot of nights in my early 20s where I was like, "Hey, am I gonna fucking sleep in the rain right now, or am I just gonna stay awake for 4 days?" Because I was still really terrible at being homeless. Let's see. I was still like terrible at being around people, so nobody was gonna let me in their house. And so I'm walking down the street, and this guy.
How old?
I was like maybe like 20. This I'm not gonna say his name, but he used to smoke a bunch of crack and make like bathtub psychedelics at his mom's trailer, and he was basically like taking the seeds of this plant and like pushing them through like a plastic cigar tube with fucking shitty butane to extract it, you know what I mean? And then just like not even really cooking it down, just like throwing it on top of fucking sweet tarts and giving it to me as a test subject because I was like, well, I'm not going to sleep.
This is the same weed we're talking about, or is this something else?
Yes, this is the same exact plant,
Yeah.
And he also, I was just eating like whatever the fuck he was giving me. So I was like eating mushrooms, morning glory seeds, and this stuff for like 3 or 4 hours straight before he was just like, yo, you need to leave. My mom's coming home. And I'm like, great. This is fucking great, So all of a sudden I'm out in the world on this shit for fucking days, And, yeah, let's see, the few things I remember, seeing like dragons flying around in the fucking sky was pretty crazy. Seeing a bunch of people with no faces, like a huge crowd of people with no faces, like walking towards me and then like disappearing as I was walking into them was pretty crazy.
Was it an actual crowd of people?
No, there was no
nothing
actual
there.
people there.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and let's see what else. Oh yeah. So yeah, being on fire, being some sort of
does it make
sadder.
you feel like you're burning too?
I chased a bus down the street thinking it was a mastodon. You can't tell.
But
If you were on fire
did you
right
feel
now,
like you
the
were on
pain
fire,
would be
or-
so intense that you wouldn't be able to tell if it was pain or
You
not.
go into a shock, yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? I wasn't dying.
You didn't feel like you were burning though.
Yeah. I mean, I felt things. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you're convinced it's real.
Yeah, I was definitely convinced it was real. So anyway, fast forward like 24 hours or so, and this guy was like fucking walking down the street. I still don't know really what happened. And all I remember is this like crazy looking fucking like demonic looking fucking hobo dude like just out of nowhere came up and like grabbed my hand. And like I couldn't see his face, like his face was like not there and shit. And next thing I know, I'm walking up the street, and these popo are like running up on me, like you better fucking get on the ground or we're gonna shoot you and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, whoa! I was like, whatever the fuck you think I did, I probably didn't do, but I don't know. And I was way past lying like that. At that point, I was way too high to lie. And so, I'm just like, look, they're asking me all these questions. Apparently, I was a suspect for murder. You know, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they show me the fucking, you know, they show me the sketch, and I'm like, damn, sure looks like me.
Oh, Jesus
Like,
Christ,
you even got my hair right, you know, like what the fuck, you know? So, that was weird. And then so my alibi ended up being that all these two other cops came into the station and fucking started laughing at me. And they were like, oh, like, we found him. And I'm like, oh, shit, what else did I do? And apparently, people had been calling the cops on me in other places all day during the times of the murders. And the only difference between me and this guy, who I'm still convinced was maybe also me, was I had dyed my mohawk red, and I decided to just dye my whole face red. So there was a guy with a mohawk in the woods, like, running up into people's houses, fucking killing them. And then there was a guy running around Chapel Hill, North Carolina, all day with a mohawk and a red face, just pissing people off. And
what are the odds, man?
Man, well, yeah, I don't know. And they still
Did
charge me for my weed. No, I don't know. I didn't follow the case.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still, like, sort of convinced it was either the hobo guy with no face, like, stole my face. You know what I mean? And, like, went and did all this shit.
I don't know what you mean.
Or, I mean, dude, me neither, honestly. It's just, like, every once in a while I think about this. Or there was a piece of me that, like, split off into another, like, entire person that, like, did all this shit and then just, like, kind of, like, fizzled out like a tornado, you know?
No, man, I don't know. That sounds, I hate to say crazy again, but that sounds insane.
It's pretty wild. Yeah. It was, yeah. So basically that was the plant that I saw in.
Do you recommend staying away from that plant, or do you
Yes.
recommend trying it?
I mean, it's just some strong swimmers only stuff. So just make sure you're real serious about getting through a situation like that. All I can say about any, like, intense experience with a plant medicine or a psychedelic is make sure you know who you are.
But does anyone ever know that? I don't know anyone who
You'll
knows
find
that.
out.
I don't believe anybody who
You will
knows
find
who they are.
out in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think I believe that anybody can ever know who they are. I think just when
On
you
a
think you got it, you
on a
lose it
certain,
again.
Well, that's the ego.
And-
I'm saying,
and
like,
life
who the
shifts
fuck
around
you
you.
always were before you were even born.
Yeah.
Without all that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Without samsara and without, like, all the personality components that you use to survive here on Earth.
Mm.
And then the core and the common denominator of all these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that exists, then definitely try that shit. And you will find out that it does.
So you ended up homeless, man. That's how long did that last for?
I would say transient because
Your
most
worth.
of it was by choice.
Yeah.
I totally like was making a lot of money a lot of the time, especially once I went out west, doing mad different shit. I was the guy who looked out for the cops for a 3-card money operation for a long time, and that guy was nuts. Fucking we'd go to Dave Matthews Band shows because that's where you find the most, like, complete fucking idiots with money.
Yeah.
You know? And we had this, like, soccer mom looking lady that would come up and, like, you know, like, we'd basically be taking advantage of all their toxic masculinity. We'd pretend she won a bunch of times. She knew how, like, she was, like, kind of like an evil genius, but she knew how to act like a ditz.
Won the money?
Won mad money, and then all these fucking guys would come up and be like, I got $200 on this shit. If she can win, I can win. All these fucking pink shirt fucking bro losers, and fucking like with the little alligator and shit, you know, and then fucking
Lacoste?
just like this dude was making like and Lacoste was a cool guy. That's like the name of a dude. That's like awesome. It's kind of crazy, and I love alligators. But these dickheads are fucking. No, I wouldn't say the shirts. I think someone in his family still gets paid from those shirts, so I hope they keep buying the shirts. But
No, we're not talking shit on the cost. We're just talking shit.
no, we're
on
talking
the
shit
specific
on.
dudes
We're
who
talking
rolled
shit
up.
on fucking dickhead bros, and I mean, I really just don't feel anybody who's buying into all this fucking American bullshit. But what do you call it? What is it? Oh yeah, so yeah, that ended crazy because that guy was like a complete crackhead, So I'd basically be getting paid in my own hotel room. I didn't understand the use of like the value of money still at that point. I was like, oh, you're gonna give me $50? That's a lot of money. Like that's kind of how I was still thinking at that point in my life. So, he'd give me my own hotel room, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have to deal with this crackhead ass. This is great, So instead, we were in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he got this crack whore, and he gave the pimp my hotel room number. So I get a bang on the door, and this guy's like, where the fuck is my wife, And I'm just like, oh shit, So I was fearless. I opened the door. I was like, look around. Do you like smell crack or sex in here? Like, no. All right. Somebody gave you the wrong hotel room number. Then my honor screwed me, and I left the hotel room to go find this guy to let him know this pimp was looking for him, And I locked myself out, and I tried to get back in, and I couldn't. And the guy wouldn't give me the key because I didn't have an ID. So I went and like broke into this dude's car and slept, and then fucking I wake up in the middle of the night and he's driving around with like a fucking little like a snub nose fucking revolver at his waist, driving around, looking around, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm gonna kill this bitch, and I'm like, dude, you are gonna let me out of the car first. Holy shit! So I had him leave my ass in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's how you became migrant?
Oh, no, that was just one thing.
That's just one story.
Eventually I ended up out west and, working for the industry, what I mean? I was, Oscar the Grouch selling fucking weed to lames in Golden Gate Park.
You rap about any of this stuff?
All of it.
Yeah.
You just got to know I'm rapping about it.
Yeah.
It's not all so obvious.
Yeah, I gotta hear the music, man. More, listen to it more.
Oh yeah, I rap about everything though. I try to rap about the future more than the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, the future is way better than the past for me.
I'd like to think so, man.
Yeah.
I need to believe that. But so, damn, you got stories, man.
Oh yeah.
We should keep talking about your what you're doing musically right now.
Yeah, my bad. I get off on tangents.
No, bad, man.
Talk too much.
I would love to talk. I would love to hear more stories if we have time.
Of course.
Or another time.
Anytime.
But yeah, man. So how'd you get into all this? Like, I think you told me you've been doing it forever, right? Or you've always.
I wrote my first rap song when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
I had a rap group, quote unquote, with a kid on the bus named Eric Squires. Shouts to Eric Squires if you're out there. But we didn't actually get anything done. We just kind of like started writing songs, disagreed on something, and then got into fist fights.
Oh shit.
He weighed like 40 pounds more than me, so he always won.
And then what? He took your shit, or we just did that again together?
The next day on the bus. We were like in the fucking the fourth grade.
So your thing was like rap fight.
Basically,
yeah.
I grew up on rap and punk rock through my dad and my uncles and shit.
They were into it? They did it too?
No, they just were fans. They're still fans. My dad's one of those people where he don't like his favorite rap group is Run DMC, and he's not interested in anything after that era. But
well, he's missing out.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Old
men can be stubborn. I hope I'm not a stubborn old man when I'm that age, man.
Yeah, I will be. I'm already a stubborn old man.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll make it to that age, and then we'll try not to be, right?
It'll be pretty dope if we all make it to that age.
Yeah. So you started first song at 9.
Yeah, it was probably some shit that could have gotten me on Geraldo. Fucking
like what you're
not
saying?
Not Geraldo. What's the guy that does all the troubled kids?
I think Geraldo did some of that. Maury.
Yeah,
Povich.
Maury or Jerry Springer or
Springer
something.
did some of that.
Yeah, it's probably just like
why you were rapping about
uninformed yet extremely graphic sexual content. more than likely.
You already knew what it all was?
No, I just thought I did, and I was making a lot of mistakes.
Nice, man.
I wanted to very badly at that age.
What was your life like at that time, man?
I don't know. I grew up in Rhode Island, and that was when the area I was in, like, everybody was Portuguese. So, like,
No shit.
All my neighbors had like, mad like cages full of pigeons and fucking a little patch of corn in their backyard. I got beat up for not speaking broken English.
Did you not learn how to
My
speak
dad's
any
Irish.
Portuguese?
No, not really.
No?
Not really. Which is kind of sad. I will. I kind of want to like live there and maybe like go back and tell them that we made a mistake and I want a different color passport. But, this shit is hot here.
Yeah. So, what happened after that, man? Let's do a little timeline thing to catch us up to
shit.
where you are right now.
So
Obviously,
let's
nothing
see.
you don't want to talk. You don't have to talk
Music
about anything you
related
don't want to talk
timeline.
about. Yeah.
I don't know. I got kicked out of a bunch of schools and we moved to North Carolina. And when I was like 15.
Where in North Carolina, man?
Chapel Hill and Durham.
Okay.
My parents moved to Chapel Hill, but I was like living in group homes in Durham within 6 months. I was a wild kid. Like in Rhode Island, I was like smoking dust and fucking acting like a fucking crazy dickhead. And we went to North Carolina and I kept the same energy. So they were like, get the fuck out of here. I was already like not living at home most of the time in Rhode Island.
Damn.
And can't believe they actually brought me with them. But that was cool.
But they did.
Thanks, guys. What's up?
Are you still close with them now? To this day?
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I would have to be crazy at my age to like look back and be like, oh yeah, they were wrong for that.
Yeah.
I was being like they had
like what would
they had
you,
a younger
what would you
kid
do?
to worry about. Like it was hot for like you know what I mean. Like I was making shit hot. Like I couldn't be around.
You have a son, right?
I have a daughter.
A daughter. I'm sorry. How old is she?
Yes, she is 7 years old, 7.5 years old.
So she's 2 years away
On
from
a hot to ISIS.
the age you were when you wrote your first song. Does she do anything like that?
She likes to skateboard.
Yeah.
And I sent her a bunch of videos of production equipment.
Cool.
To see if she liked it. Me and her mom don't get along at all, and I kind of have to, spend money to even figure out where they're at. You know, can't get her to answer the phone. So
Damn, man.
We'll see how that goes.
That's rough.
Hey, nah, not if you deal with it. Everything's just work.
Yeah. Everything is.
I've been watching mad Gary V videos.
Yeah.
Got me like hella like positive.
He pumps
There's no
you up
such
and
thing
gets
as a
you positive.
problem. It's just opportunities.
Yeah, quit complaining, right? He's always
Yeah.
so intense.
Yeah, that guy's the man, yo.
I have to admit, I like him. I like to make fun of people like that because it's a little too easy.
But you
I
can't
like
make
that
fun
guy.
of him because he's not just a motivational speaker. He got
He's a
rich as
businessman.
fuck.
Yeah.
He made himself rich.
No, he's respectable, man. I have
living
respect
fuck
for him.
Off
Yeah.
of the shit he's talking about, and then he started talking.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a different story.
He's badass, man. I like him.
Yeah.
He's intense. He's
Yeah.
funny.
Shouts to Gary V. Big fan.
Gary V, man. So yeah, let's keep going up
my
the timeline,
fault.
man. No, it's not your fault. That's what these things are. They're rambling, meandering conversations, you know.
Yeah. Let's see. So I moved to North Carolina. Living in greenhouse, group home. Shouts to Archdale Street.
You were farming?
What? No.
Were you farming? No.
It's greenhouse is the name of like a group home. No,
Okay.
that was just like basically a 24-hour cage match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was growing my balls quite a bit, having to
You had to
fucking
fight a lot?
fight mad people all at the same time. Yeah, that was the era where if you were me in the areas that I was in, you had to look like Eminem to not get the shit kicked out of you. And I had like Liberty spikes and shit, so it was I was
you
like
were punked out, not
I mean I'm still mad punk rock, but
yeah.
Yeah, I looked like, your average. I was like mad fat. I was, you know what I mean? I was court ordered to take psychiatric meds. Kind of a violent kid.
Damn, man.
Yeah, you got. I mean, like everybody takes on what they can handle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like when I say stuff like that, people are like, "Oh man, like you've been through a lot." I'm like, I can't tell. Not really. Every time I've ever gotten kicked in the face, I got prettier, man. I don't like it's like magic.
Lucky you, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's a guy thing, man. Like guys can take a beating. Easy.
Yeah, we're supposed to have.
We're more rugged, but we literally can look ugly.
We're supposed to
and
have
it's kind of
fucking rugged features.
the rugged feature thing makes us look better.
I feel like I'm starting to look like Ernest Hemingway. I need to learn. I need to lose some weight, but that's a whole other story.
drink more, get a room with a view by the sea, start writing,
Shit.
fishing. You into fishing?
Wasn't he like a poster child for the Me Too generation?
I don't think he was that. Yeah, he would have definitely been called out by now.
Jeez. I mean, I think he wrote books about like kidnapping 14-year-old girls and shit.
You know, I have
could
to
be
confess,
mistaken.
I haven't actually really read any Hemingway.
Me neither, but
I've just read about him and
I
watched
might be
movies about him.
confusing him with like Jack Kerouac.
Jack
or somebody.
Kerouac.
So
I
I shouldn't
think
be
you're talking about
like
Kerouac.
slandering a person's name. Yeah,
think it was
Kerouac.
Kerouac.
All those guys. I read half of
They
Naked
were all
Lunch,
pieces of shit, man.
and I was like,
Burroughs?
I was like, I'm good on this shit.
Do you know the
Jesus
story
Christ.
behind that? Like how he wrote that?
Yeah, he was
drugged
withdrawn
out,
from dope, and he didn't remember writing it. I don't believe people when they say shit.
and
like
then
that.
Kerouac helped him piece it together. I don't know if I
blah, blah,
believe it
blah.
either, man. Yeah,
That's cute and all, but I don't know.
yeah. You want to create stories around your shit to make it more
I mean,
mythological and interesting to
if
people.
you ain't got like the real shit, you know.
I don't know, man.
You
He
know.
wrote a lot of stuff. I can't say I read a ton of Burroughs either, or Kerouac.
I read enough.
I read a
Burroughs.
handful of them.
I used to listen to his spoken word shit that he would do with like Trent Reznor and shit.
I haven't heard that.
It's pretty interesting. And then I started reading his books, and I was like, oh, he's a pedophile. Word, I'm good. Like,
Was Burroughs a pedophile?
dude, he I forget what it was. It was something like pay, like some crazy shit. Like,
God, man.
I'm not gonna get. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Crazy
go into
drug
this shit.
addict, murdered his wife, fucking, and a pedophile. Jesus.
Do you think he
gotta
really? I mean,
fact
like,
check
you
this
never
shit.
know if he murdered his wife. The William Tell story could be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
man. I don't know.
I'm not gonna like vouch for any of that. I'm just saying what he fucking.
Yeah,
wrote
I
about
mean,
that read.
murder's the wrong word. Accident. Fucking accident.
Yeah, you could accidentally kill almost anyone.
Yeah. I'm always scared of accidentally killing things, man. I don't want to
I
do that.
accidentally killed Deuce's fish.
Right.
That was fucking whack.
By overfeeding it.
I feel terrible.
I accidentally killed a turtle once by underfeeding it. That sucked. I learned my lesson though. Now I keep care of animals. I take good care of animals now, man.
I take really good care of animals. I just like suck.
Fish
at
are
kids.
hard, man. Fish
I love,
are
I love
specific
being
too.
a pet uncle. You know, like
Yeah.
not a pet
Yeah.
parent. You know.
Yeah. I took on the dad thing with my puppy, but
Oh,
for a
yeah.
long time I was just the uncle.
I used to buy dogs from crackheads that were probably gonna just shoot them.
We don't need to go over every
yeah.
rescuing him. We don't need to go
Yeah,
over
it
every
was
detail
rescue.
of from then to now. But
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
But like how did you get here? Like to
Well,
the point
let's
where I
see.
met you at Gone Before, man.
Let me do a quick recap of the musical history. God damn, I digress like a motherfucker.
Yeah, if you want to, we can do your full
All
recap,
right, let's
man.
see. I was in a lot of punk bands.
Nice.
I got kicked out of a band called the Useless Bastards for sounding like I was rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you always mixing rap and punk? Do you have like a
not
straight
really.
punk style?
Not
or
really. I
have
mean,
you always just done your style?
I just do me. I write like I write.
Yeah.
It sounds better as rap songs.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was raised on both, so I just like, you know, and I'd just be like walking through neighborhoods I was living in, and people would be rapping and doing ciphers and shit back when that was still a thing. So I would go hang out and do that, and you know,
Nice,
there
man.
was a cat named Loki, the Angel of Death, that got me to start getting on stage.
Loki, the Angel of Death.
Yeah. And
Trickster. The Norse trickster god.
yeah, I recorded a song. You know what I mean? I was trying to go by Grendel,
As in the first
which was
time?
like way too literate for.
Yeah, you were telling me that. You did Grendel for a while, but it just like was it
just
going over
like,
people's
people,
heads?
People thought I was saying like Grundle, like taint.
Yeah, that's totally
And I
your
was just
crowd,
like,
man. They
you
go
know,
straight for
I
the
was
Grundle.
Like, I'm good.
And
on
everyone's
this
next thing you know,
name.
everyone's grabbing your
And
after
then
your
what?
Grundle.
Like, I went by Conundrum for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to go up on stage and not really have a name a lot. I wasn't trying to make money off of it. And then my mom's friends started kind of getting me gigs. I called them the punk rock retirement community. And that was kind of whack. No shout outs to a lot of them. Some of them, shouts to Randy. You know, and then my friends were starting mad shit with really dangerous people. This fucking guy, I'm not going to say what gang he was in, but he got like beaten with my front door like for mad long, and then all of a sudden everybody was trying to kill all my friends.
Like slamming.
And it was over. It was over like a push. I don't even smoke crack. And it was like over like somebody decided the piece of those of you who don't know what a push is, the piece that inside the piece of Brillo inside the crack pipe. It can be a very coveted thing when there's no more crack, and there was a dispute over it, and this guy kicked a couple holes in my walls, and then he got fucking beaten with a door until he was almost dead, and then dragged to the fucking sidewalk, and that started a lot of shit, shit was super hot. I was kind of like, I don't even smoke crack or shoot dope, so I don't really even have a lot in common with these motherfuckers. I love you guys. But like still, I mean, and shit wasn't going good for me. And a couple of my friends used to go to Asheville to clean out from dope. That was where all the hippie drugs were and shit. If you're from North Carolina, you know what's up. So
they would go there.
I went with them there.
They would go there and drop the hard shit and do.
Yeah, but then they just started coming there and dropping the hard shit in another way, getting everybody strung out there. But I went out there and kind of ran into a lot of deadheads and kind of like ate a bunch of acid and disappeared for like 6 or 7 years, as a lot of people do when they run into those guys. Shouts to y'all. Ended up in California, for mad years. And that's kind of where I got back into the music aspect of shit.
Cool.
And
how did it happen, man?
I was just hanging out with a lot of rappers.
Nice.
The reason I don't really hang out with a lot of hippies anymore is because most of them turn 25 and realize they're like super racist. So
they realize that they're super racist?
Yeah, they turn into their parents real fast, a lot of these pieces of shit. No shit. So I was an intermediary with the hip hop community there in certain respects with certain people. I stayed mad low, but then all of a sudden I'm watching all these musicians like do their thing. Shouts to Adam A+.
It's inspired you. Do you remember a moment where you got up on stage again?
Shit. I was at the Starry Plow in Berkeley.
Was it triumphant
or
was it
shitty spoken word sets? It's like never underestimate the ability to like just destroy your creativity by thinking you're a genius. You do have to be careful, doing too many drugs. And then let's see. Shortly after that, I had my child, and I was like, well, shit, I can't be doing what I was doing all those years anymore. So I had to find another way to do things. So I did that. I started going heavy with the music. Went down to Peru for a couple years. Shout out to all my Peru people. Thank you for putting up with me. I was a fucking wild man down there. I was a pain in the ass. Very great community down there. The Peruvian hip hop scene, Peruano hip hop scene. I'm not gonna say it like a fucking American. Respect motherfuckers.
How do you say it? What's it called?
I mean, a Peruano will call himself a Peruano. You ain't gonna hear someone from Peru say Peruvian. You know what I mean? So that's just a little bit of respect. I try to be like that with people.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Peruano homies are fucking dope. The hip hop scene in South America is, I couldn't say enough good things about it. It's pure counterculture. You know what I mean? They don't have really a mainstream counterpart. Like all the mainstream hip hop is American rap. So if you're a part of the hip hop scene in Peru, you actually want to be there. You know what I mean? Saying I want to be a rapper isn't like saying I want to be an astronaut or the president or something like it is here. Or saying I want to go to the NBA or whatever.
As in the mainstream.
Yeah, or just some kind of like success status.
Right. Making money, getting corporate sponsorship.
You're spitting rhymes in Peru. Going into it that you ain't like like there's a very slim chance of you making like $1 million. There's no like, Kanye of Peru or whatever. You know what I mean? There's just dope underground hip hop.
That's awesome, man.
You know what I mean? You got breakers, you got graffiti artists, you got all that shit. Dope ass DJs, dope ass MCs.
It's vibrant down there, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel like it compares to here?
Like
specifically,
like
the crew,
the rap scene. It's like it was like in the '90s here at its dopest moments all the time. That's how I feel. Mad kids
you feel like that was a badass
come to
time.
shows, man. Like, yeah, dude, and it's just mad cool. And people,
Legendary.
hip hop is a means to open your mind to things you don't know about and become like aware of what's going on in places that you're not at, et cetera, and just it's a means of being politically active. Like purely, at least the people I was around, and maybe there's other stuff going on. But that's what the fuck I saw. So shouts to Peru and the Peru hip hop scene.
Nice.
And all the homies that came from everywhere else to come play shows in Peru. Bolivia, Argentina, Colombia.
How long were you there for, man?
Almost
Did you already
2
say
years.
that? 2 years?
About 2 years.
Nice.
I had my daughter with me the whole time.
Yeah.
She was 9 months old when we showed up, and she was about 2.5 when we left.
Wow.
Came back to America, and we all instantly regretted it, but it's been cool. New York City is dope. I mean, I'm so in love with this place. I'll probably never leave, or I'll probably never live somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Settled in.
Shouts to New York City.
Well, you got a good setup right now, man, over there with Deuce and everything.
Yes.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, cult classics.
Yeah, you guys.
So
you guys have a.
we got
describe
a
it
studio in the basement.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We ain't really tracking. We're not out here trying to fucking record your shit off of a thumb drive like a bunch of assholes. You know what I mean? If you're coming to our studio, it's to build a song or build a project with us on the spot.
It sounds
You know
sick,
what I mean?
man.
And just, make it really good and make it exactly what it should be.
What are your thoughts on Deuce, man? Like, he's fucking badass.
Deuce.
How would you describe him?
Man, Deuce is the greatest.
He's like
Deuce is my brother.
Yeah.
And when I came to New York, I didn't really know anybody when I met Deuce. I knew Kenyatta Black. That's it. Shouts to Kenyatta Black, one of my very best friends, my brother, my family, and a handful of other cats. And Shayla Nolden, Holly Saucy, shouts to her, from an old friend of mine from the Bay, lived here, and that was it. And those were my only two people, and I was staying at a hostel, and I was super hung up on this chick who didn't even live in the city, and I was ruining my whole life for that. And
chicks make us do that,
shouts
don't
to
they,
her
man?
though, for real, because it also got me where I'm at. But
Yeah, you got to thank everybody, even the ones you don't like anymore.
oh no,
right?
some people I'll just piss on the grave. She's cool. It wasn't her fault. It was my fault that I was doing that. She wasn't even really the one responsible.
How did you run into Deuce, man? Do you remember?
I met Deuce and Chris Carr on the same night, actually, and Jenna.
At
Deuce and Jenna were at the basement bar, looking so fucking vibed out. I thought they had been together for
As they
10
do.
years already.
Yeah.
They kind of just got together, which I didn't.
You talking about
I didn't
Tilt?
even really realize until recently that they had just gotten together at that point.
The basement bar is Tilt?
No, the basement bar it's not there anymore. It was on Varrett and Bogart. Just right around the corner from there.
Yeah.
And and they were looking super vibed out. I was like, holy shit, they got their own universe going on. And I
Was he already producing?
I was like, what's up? He had just started producing.
He just started.
But and I was just like, what's up with y'all? And we kind of clicked, and then we just randomly ran into each other on another day in Union Square, and then and then they were like, I left the city because I didn't have a place to stay, and they were like, what the fuck are you doing? Come stay with us.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, word? Okay. And I stayed with them for 3 months until they left for Hawaii.
Good people.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the best people ever.
Yeah, man, and I feel like it's crazy that Deuce hadn't produced up until that point, man. Because now I feel like he's setting himself up, and all of you,
Deuce-
everything
Deuce
you guys
is
are doing,
Deuce just whatever,
You're setting yourself
whatever
up to
he
make
sets
some
his
history,
mind
man.
To do, he's gonna do.
you guys are gonna make some music history. I predict.
Thank you. I'm just trying to stay focused on the work more than the
Ego shit.
the outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's important, man. Yeah, keep
yeah.
your head down. Nose to the grindstone. All those cliches.
That's
fucking
all
just
you
work
can
hard, man.
do, you know. That's
Yeah.
all you can do. I spent so many years fucking up by just like thinking that I had something indestructible, and nobody has anything indestructible. You got to
Yeah.
work in this world, you know.
Yeah.
Shouts to my dad for teaching me that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if you are, like, everything's going great, like, you never know it's going to hit you. That's why you just got to stay fucking focused and work hard, man. Life is hard.
When life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Shouts to Robert Hunter.
Let's not sing anything else that we don't have the rights to, though. Careful.
Oh,
We're going to leave that in, though.
all right,
That's
all
cool.
right.
Yeah, that's the way the shit goes. I don't really care right now, man.
I don't
nobody's
think
gonna notice
they're
this.
coming at us.
Yeah.
Bob Weir, please don't hurt me.
You never know, though, man. People are crazy out there. Do you have any kind of like creative life or creative or even just any life philosophy period? Or you just kind of go at it hard?
Anarchy, man, but not like go kill everybody, but just like
Anarchy?
like like do you, man, self-govern.
Uh-huh.
The reason that we have Donald Trump is because people needed a president.
Right.
If we got that out of the way many generations ago, where we're like, what is all this bullshit with the central? Oh, we somebody's like, oh well, the world is dangerous. I have this wall that you can come stand behind, but you gotta like do what I need you to do. That's the beginning of all this bullshit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't actually need that. We don't need that. We're better than that, you know.
So your philosophy. What do you mean your philosophy is chaos, though?
Not
It's like-
chaos, anarchy.
Anarchy.
Chaos is just something
state.
that I'm not afraid of. That I do things that other people can't handle, for money. You know, so that's that. I mean, chaos is just a state that things are in. A lot of the time, you know what I mean. And I'm not afraid of the jungle. I ain't the toughest guy in the world, and I ain't the smartest. You know what I mean. But I can handle it, and if I can't handle it, you know, fuck it all. You know, I'll just be I'll be another statistic, I guess. But you know, it's just like, you know, I'm not gonna not flow and do exactly what I want to do because there's chaos in the world.
But the anarchy you're saying,
You know,
that's just like a self-reliant thing, like find answers in
anarchy
yourself.
is when you have a dinner party and everybody does a little bit of the dishes, but nobody tells. You know, that's communism if somebody's there to decide who does the dishes.
Is it
I mean, yeah, I think people use that word incorrectly in modern day, personally, but
communism?
yeah. I see all these kids on the internet glorifying Soviet Russia, and I'm just like, I mean, I know people who grew up in Soviet Russia, and
They don't glorify that shit.
They didn't say that it was very cool.
No. I've known quite a few Russians in my time.
I've never met someone who grew up in Soviet Russia.
They
that
either
was
never
like,
want
this
to
is
go
the
back.
shit.
Yeah, they
I mean,
either
Russia,
don't want to go
Russia's
back or
a
they
different
fucking-
story, and Russian culture is very interesting to me. But, you know, like that regime, I mean, it's just, you know, there's a million ways to do the same thing. And I study dictators, and I study strategists, and I study generals. You know, I've read a lot of Niccolo Machiavelli and Sun Tzu and all these guys, and I've thought about all this stuff. I'm a very politically minded person, you know. I grew up thinking about this stuff. My family was heavily involved in politics in Portugal. We weren't well liked in politics, but we were heavily involved. You know.
Can you talk about that?
Sure, we were anti-colonialists. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I got a weird family history, but yeah, I have a great grandfather that shot a politician in the head. You know, we don't play. Shouts to my bloodline is pretty dope people. We're Sephardic, but we don't know anything about it because we're what they call Marranos or crypto Jews, which means that like we basically were like coerced into Catholicism during the Inquisitions.
Okay. Like a lot of people, man.
Yeah, but that I mean, I've been trying to learn more to just honor my ancestors.
Hell yeah.
It's piece by piece. It's something that I feel like they did what they felt like they had to do at that time. But now that the world is different, I'm gonna respect the people that came before them and learn as much as I can about all that. But
well, it's just fascinating too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My great grandmother raised me in a very big way during my young years, preschool years.
Did you say great grandmother?
Yes, my great grandmother.
Wow, man.
Vovó. Maria Carolina de Oliveira.
I don't mean
Shouts
to,
to her
I don't mean to
and
like
all the
say this
Oliveras.
without knowing the circumstances, but that's kind of lucky, man. That's awesome.
Really lucky, man.
Yeah.
I'm really fortunate. She passed when I was 16,
Wow.
and I was locked up.
That's crazy. You were locked
And I
up.
cried a whole bunch, and a bunch of kids tried to fuck me up
You
for
were
it.
you were in jail when she
I
passed
was
away.
in a group home.
The
Yeah.
group home. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't express it.
I
Couldn't
cry. I
express-
fucking was gunning, regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll cry anywhere, anytime. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that now too. I
know?
try not. If I'm like tearing up, I don't want to be like hiding it.
Yeah, I'm not scared.
It depends who's around. There's some people I don't want to show my weakness to, but
Yeah,
for the
I
most
mean,
part,
yeah,
don't
of
care.
course. I mean, if I'm around, if I have to cry around somebody I can't show my weakness to, I'm just gonna punch them in the face. Because it's kind, it's a little better. If they're a dude, I don't punch girls,
You can
women.
channel the sadness into a fucking
My dad
punch.
told me when I was very young, if I ever hit a woman, he would kill me and gouge my eyes out with a spoon. I was like 3, so it stuck with me. It's good. I mean, out of all threats you can make, that was a very effective one, and I'm glad he did it. But
Your pop doesn't fuck around. As you said, your family doesn't
no,
fuck around.
my dad, like, dude, he lost his mind when I brought a porno into the house when I was like fucking 12.
What, he wasn't cool with it?
Hell no. He's
not-
like mad serious about that shit. Like,
He's not into porn, huh?
he's kind of ahead of his time in that way. He is not a Me Too person.
He's a feminist.
Shouts to
before,
him.
Before other men were feminists.
I don't know
he
if
was
he
an
would
early
call
feminist.
himself that, but totally.
Yeah,
You
he
know what I
ca- he
mean?
cares
Like
about women.
the way he raised my sister was
Respect for women.
very cool to watch.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
nice.
That's
man.
real. Shouts to my sister.
Is she a younger sister?
Yes, 7
Yeah.
years.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So you're in touch with all of them.
Yeah. I
Yeah?
love my family. Love the fucking shit out of my family.
Nice, man.
Wow. Shouts to my mom. My mom's a fucking amazing lady. Beautiful woman. Great artist.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's a painter.
She paints?
Yeah.
Sweet, man. So that's probably why you have a respect for art.
Yeah. Like, she brought me around so many fucking weirdos.
I appreciate the love you show me, man. You'd be surprised how little people show me respect. It's like
Yeah, that's because they're scared,
When I'm
bro.
in-
Your shit is crazy.
no. There are
Either
people
that
who
or they're
are
just
maybe
plain
there are people who are
stupid.
scared. I think people they don't see it. They literally don't see it. They're blind to it. It's
I mean,
it's a
they
thing.
should,
I recognize
they should
that.
drink some bleach then.
No, I think it's important, man. I think we're all lucky that we're mixing the way we are. Like I like
Yeah.
the comedy and the music and the fucking art and all of
Yeah.
it together.
I might do stand-up comedy a little bit.
You should go for
Tell
it, man.
stories and shit.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Try it.
That's kind of,
I
it's
think
intimidating.
Chris's environment is the best one to do it.
It's like rapping without a beat or rhyming. It's
Oh,
like, what do I
terrifying,
do?
man. I think it's the scariest thing.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying, man. What question do I want to ask you right now, man? Where do you feel like you're at in your music career? Do you feel like you're at a
I'm just
like
getting
I was gonna
started,
say,
baby.
you're just getting started moment?
I'm just getting done feeling old and realizing, oh, thank God I wasn't releasing popular records in my 20s.
Yeah, that could be a curse,
Because
right?
that would be awful just the shit I had to say was just awful. You know?
Now you got value to add to the
And I
world.
really thought it was like conscious stuff too. It was like kind of crazy. It was probably talented, but really, really fucked up.
Do you have any of that recorded or
I hope not.
Written
I mean,
down or anything like
somewhere.
You definitely try to keep that secret. You don't want anyone hearing that if it's
I
out there
mean,
somewhere.
I don't know. It's just not necessary. It's
Yeah.
not helpful
Yeah.
to anyone.
I don't know. I feel
know
like
what
you
I
could
mean?
give something like that to Deuce.
I used to just
he could
get
mix
on.
it up and that would be a dope
bro.
thing.
No, because it's just like a lot of it was just probably real hateful, fucked up shit, man. I hated
Yeah.
the whole world back then.
Just tell him to mix it up even harder then, so it's indecipherable.
I wasn't taking responsibility for any of my issues
Yeah.
at that point in my life.
Is there a moment in your life where you realized that something happened that made you learn to take responsibility for
I would
your
say it's a
issues,
bunch
or
of little moments.
just building up?
Yeah.
That's the way it is, right? But is
Yeah.
there not one culminative moment where you're like, everything clicked?
Nah.
No? It's just a gradual change?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Shouts to Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
I won't say.
All right, yeah, don't.
It's my man's though.
So I call this podcast the Short, Bald, and Angry podcast, and I ask
Yeah.
everybody what gets you angry, what makes you tick.
What makes me angry?
You could talk about things that used to make you angry, because you sound like you used to be angrier than you are now.
I mean, no, a lot of things still make me angry. I wouldn't say that I'm not angry. I just
Yeah.
get angry at stuff that affects other people more than I get angry at stuff that affects me.
Yeah. Like shit that hurts other people?
Yeah. What gets me angry? People who don't want to change. We were talking about the Me Too shit. All of these motherfuckers. Fuck Morgan Freeman. Fuck Matt Lauer. But if anybody thought Matt Lauer wasn't a rapist, like, they're fucking out of their mind.
Was Matt Lauer, did he get
He's
called
got
out for raping?
I don't know, something like that. He looks like a rapist.
I don't remember.
I
who
didn't.
did
I
what
didn't
anymore.
read the whole thing. I just saw his picture on it. They're all
just see the
rapists.
names and you clump them all together. That's the dangerous part of it, man.
Yeah, this motherfucker eats babies with the Pope.
Yeah.
You know, but shit. What makes me mad? People who don't want to change. People who feel like their convenience is more important than other people's lives and well-being.
That's a big American problem, right?
White people who feel like they really have a right to throw everybody else under the bus every time they get a little bit upset. Men who feel like they have the right to project their feelings of being unloved on women in any capacity. Old people who talk shit about music being made by 21-year-olds as if that those people should give a fuck at all.
Wait, those people, what?
Like
old,
the young people,
young people?
as if they should
Right.
give a fuck at all what someone in their 30s thinks about their music or 40s or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it's crazy how 30...
It's so crazy.
people turn 30 and they start acting like they're 60 or 80.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
You into him?
He puts me in a good mood daily because
I gotta start listening
he's
to him more. I'm not
triggering the
not
fuck out
against
of
him,
all
but
these people, man.
people love him, man.
And let me tell, I like some of his music. I don't like some of his music, not for any reason other than like I just like some music and I don't like other music.
Yeah.
Some of his music, like when I'm riding my bike, like, and I'm listening to that shit, it's like Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or meth or something. It's like fucking. It's just like getting me there, you know.
You ride your bike around the city a lot?
I ride my bike around. I didn't do any. I did like I guess like 15 miles yesterday. I usually do around 8 to 20 miles on a bike a day.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's not too bad, but it's good little.
Local.
I don't go riding my bike when there's nowhere to be. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that
try to
stuff
every now
makes
and
me
then, but
angry.
yeah, I know what you mean.
I argue a lot with people on Facebook.
Get the ball.
You know what I mean? Over that kind of shit.
You argue with who on Facebook?
Mostly just dickheads who think that they're right about everything and think that they can fucking tell other people how to live. I love telling people that they're not special when they act like they're so goddamn special.
Yeah.
It really
People
makes
need-
my day every day.
People do need to hear that more.
Yeah.
Some people really need it. I hate to be such a negative
There's
asshole.
7 billion people on the planet. Am I really supposed to act like I think that I should be sharing air with everybody?
I gotta remind myself that I'm not special too.
There's people
applies to
there's
everybody.
people whose countries are being bombed to oblivion,
Right.
So that we can have shirts,
Yeah,
and shit.
it's fucking.
You know what I mean?
worst shit that's
so
going on right
I
now.
say, fuck all these motherfuckers who think that that's all right. They should go first.
Yeah. That's why we get along, because we see eye to eye on
Yes.
that shit, man. Because there's a whole part of the country that's a bit blind to it, or they think it's fine, or they like it. It's like, They deserve it.
Shout out to
We're a higher
Kansas.
race.
Just kidding.
Shout out to who?
Kansas. Just kidding.
Um,
I had a really bad experience in Kansas. I shouldn't say that because Kansas is full of probably very good people, but
what happened?
Let's see. I get into Kansas, and this cop takes my goddamn plates because I stole them, and so I gotta fucking drive only at night with stay under the window line of my car. I had a Coyote Chow mix at the time, and he was like really mean, and fucking yeah. I named it Cucullin, so he should be mean. But I used to tie him in my backpack, and he would bite anybody. He'd ruin your life if you touched my backpack.
Wow, man.
But I didn't make him mean. He was just we were both assholes, and he was a Coyote Chow mix for fuck's sake. But
yeah.
Somebody tied a fucking chow to a tree.
You found him.
The wrong piece
found
of
him
woods.
tied to a tree.
No, I mean the chow female got tied to a tree, and
Okay.
then, there was a bunch of Coyote Chow mixes after a little bit.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
what do you call it? So like fucking yeah, I had to it took me 5 days to get through Kansas. I had to kind of whore myself out to a couple of ladies that worked at a Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, that you were able to do that?
To get myself all the way through. And they found me some plates, but I had to do some nasty things.
Like what?
Let's just say I was not attracted to either of them.
No shit, man.
Yeah. Hey, I won't say
You've
what.
lived an interesting life, man.
Involved my mouth, I'll say that.
You should write a book.
Yeah, people tell me that. I don't have the discipline to write a book yet. Maybe someday.
Someday, man. No, you're getting into the rap right now.
Yeah.
Crank on that hard, man. But someday,
yeah,
sit down and write a book. Fuck yeah, man. Do you have to find ways to manage anger, or anger's not really a problem?
I meditate every day.
You do meditate?
Yeah, and
sit down, quiet,
Yeah, I got my little system. I breathe a lot, focus on my breath.
Nice.
And I communicate with my ancestors and all the spirits that follow me around all the time.
How long do you sit down and do that for?
Sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes an hour.
Wow.
Depending, you know what I mean?
I need to get into that, man.
Usually closer to 10 minutes, but it works.
What are you scared of anything right now? Is there anything scaring you?
Yeah, I'm scared of all kinds of stuff, man. I'm scared of all these fucking people in this world who think that they deserve everybody else's shit. I'm scared for a lot of people in this world. I'm afraid of dying, of course. I'm afraid of never seeing my daughter again. You know what I mean? So that's been rough.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of getting hit by cars all the time. So I'm on a bike.
Especially on a bike, yeah.
I don't know. Scared of all kinds of shit, man. The world scares the shit out of me. I try to put that in my music too.
Yeah. That's what music is good for, right, man?
Yeah.
You think, not that it's worth choosing, but do you think it's even more useful for that than meditation? More cathartic?
I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I'm not like the sit down and shut up type. I like to move around and make noises.
That's cool, man. I wouldn't have guessed that you were meditating, but that's badass.
Yeah.
And you're vegan now. Is that new?
I'm vegan, yeah. Almost a year.
Seems like you're doing a lot of healthy shit.
Yeah.
Quitting
I had to
everything.
quit smoking weed.
Yeah.
Because I gotta have clean hair.
Yeah.
For all this custody shit.
Yeah.
Just paid a fat retainer to get my kid back in my life. So
you're fighting, man.
Oh yeah, been fighting.
Yeah.
That
sucks.
It's crazy. They'll drain your money and then be like, "Why aren't you fighting anymore?" It's like I'm fucking broke.
Yeah, lawyers are assholes. I mean? They're so fucking shitty.
No, not them.
When it comes
I'm talking about the other lawyer that just is strategically draining my money.
Yeah.
The one that works for them, but this time, I mean, I was also my first custody case. I was going way too hard.
Yeah.
I had a lot of anger, and I was trying to get everything. You know, fuck this and fuck that and fuck her. I'm getting full custody and blah, blah, blah. And it was really dumb. And it was a waste of time and money. And I should have been. I wasn't really. I would say that I was too angry to really like look out for what was like advocate for what was best for my daughter. And so, you know, I didn't get anywhere.
So now you're coming back at it.
Yeah.
New state of mind.
I mean, I'm just going to advocate for myself this time and just be like, look, I'm not seeing her at all. And fucking, I don't even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't even get a phone call back and shit. And it's like, I can't, you know. So it's like what it is. A lot of guys are going, shouts to all the guys going through that.
I'm going through it with this puppy. Yeah.
Right.
Not as extreme.
That's serious
I'm
too.
sorry
though.
to hear.
That's real too.
Sorry
though.
to hear you're going through that, man.
Apples and oranges.
So do you have like a vision for where you're going, or you just kind of like you
Musically?
just want to crank out as much as you can?
No, I got a vision. Well, first of all, Cult Classics is taking off. I'm the president of a label now.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Cool, man.
Yeah. Me and Deuce, he's the CEO. I'm the president. You know.
And he was like shouting out a couple names of people that you're recording.
Oh
with.
yeah.
But I thought it was
Cashton,
like it's a lot of people, man. Way more than I thought.
Poet Lounge, Coleon. If I forget anybody, it's gonna be really fucked up.
Don't just stop. Don't try to name them all right now.
No.
You don't have to name everybody.
Them all.
But I mean, I was at that listening party. You even recorded my buddy O'Henny Cornelius.
Oh
It's
my
like-
God! O'Henny's new album is fucking crazy.
I can't wait to. I can't.
I
Like,
don't even want to talk
we're
about
not allowed
it because
to really
I'm not
talk
allowed
about
to
it,
talk
right?
about it.
But there's at least one song
Oh
on there
my
that I think
God.
is going to be super famous.
No, like you don't understand. Like I hum that shit in my head
Me too, man.
all the fucking time.
Yeah, I've been humming it for a week, and I only heard the songs like 5 or 6 times, and I'm like,
Shouts to Anna Diorio.
yeah.
Um,
Who's the dude who has that like crazy, beautiful singing voice? Who's
That's
on-
Cashton.
That's Cashton.
his shit is amazing.
Yeah, fucking phenomenal
Fucking
voice,
phenomenal, man. I like. I'm really happy. He makes me happy because he brings us out of the rap genre.
Yeah.
Very like sufficiently.
I mean,
O'Henny does too in a way. Because
he's a singer too,
he's
man.
Just like a beautiful singer.
And you're a great
But
songwriter.
Cashton is not a rapper at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like brings us to like this, you know, like this whole other creative outlet, you know.
Yeah, you guys are gonna explode.
Yeah, and so you know, and I want to start doing more visual content. I want a cooking show. I'm gonna have a cooking show.
Fuck yeah, man.
Shouts to my IG story and all the shit I cook.
What's
I
your
cook
Instagram handle?
I cook and listen to punk rock. Stank Nitty, STANK_NITTY.
All links in the description.
Oh yeah, at Stank Nitty Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't have a Twitter.
Yeah.
Or a Facebook page.
Yeah. You're just yourself on Facebook.
It's just I'm
You
not
don't
gonna
wanna
put
shout
I'm
that
not
out?
what my cell phone number?
No, your regular name. Your
Yeah.
yeah. Let's keep it stanky, man.
Yeah. My regular name is very important to me.
You want to keep it anonymous? That's like a goal.
Oh, I mean, you know, as much as possible.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want people like showing up at my fucking house. I'd love
Yeah.
to get married someday and shit. I don't need my fans scaring the shit out of my future wife.
Yeah, right now I have nobody listening to me, but I do. It's kind of crazy what I'm doing. Like if I blow up even a little bit, it's weird to think.
Yeah, no, they're gonna
I'm
hear all
exposing
this stuff,
myself, man.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the thing. Shouts to Rock Nest Monster.
Who's that?
He is a legendary MC and one half of Helter Skelter. Rest in power, Sean Price.
Yeah.
You know, stay tuned for that single with me and Rock Nest Monster and Deuce ELLIS on the Murder of Crows album.
Nice, man.
Let's see. Shouts to Kenyatta Black again.
Is that album close to done? Like you know how many songs are on it, and you're just finishing it up, or is it still kind of?
1 second.
Yeah.
Shouts to Kenyatta Black.
Yeah.
The legendary MC. And somebody who does a whole lot of shit for me. One of my very best friends and pretty much one of the main reasons I survived in New York when I first got here. And he's on that album as well. Anyway, what were you saying?
Is the album like close to done? Like, you know how many songs are on it and it's wrapping up, or is it still like it could change?
We'll see.
Yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah,
and you don't
never
want to
know.
talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it every day.
Keep it mysterious.
You know, sometimes I like songs and sometimes I don't, and blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
It's the way it goes, man.
We shall see.
It's not done until you release it into the world.
Exactly.
And even then, if you're Kanye West, it's not done. You just keep, like Life of Pablo, re-releasing.
Shouts to Kanye West.
Yo, man. So, let's start to wrap it up a little bit.
Shouts to Pusha T, best album of the year.
Yeah, you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I should listen to it
That's
closer.
emotional music for hustlers.
I like that, man. I like emotional
Shit is
core.
like
I think
Shakespeare
you
to me.
need an emotional core in your art, whatever it is you're doing. You know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So what kind of advice do you give to young people who are trying to be creative, or any people, but
Be
young?
actually creative.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was with Deuce for his. He had a interview at a record label. I'm not gonna say the name of, and it seemed like everybody else there besides him was like angry gangsta Drake. You know what I mean? Like all those pissy emotions with like a little bit more violence, and it was really whack. And like, listen, if you want to be an artist because you want snaps or you want girls to like you or any of that shit, go jump off a cliff. And if you really have something to say and you have a message and you felt your entire life that you will not be happy unless you're creating, don't let any of these motherfuckers get you down, and just, you know, everybody's gonna tell you what to think and what to believe and what to make, and they can all, you know, suck their way out of a fucking ocean of dicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jonathan Richman, from Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers. I saw him live one time, and it's like one of my dad's favorite guys and shit. And first of all, I didn't know he was like 7 feet tall or something. That was intimidating. He looked short in Something About Mary. You know, it's like everybody else was on a goddamn ladder or something. But he you know, I remember meeting him and him asking me if I was an artist, and I said yes. And him just like literally, he was real drunk, so he was like pointing in my chest and like poking me in the chest and being like, "You don't fucking let managers or fans or any of these motherfuckers tell," like real like passionate, and I like it always stuck with me. You know what I mean? And he's
Awesome, man.
like a gigantic dude, so it was kind of scary.
Wait, finish that sentence. You don't let any of them tell you what
shit.
to do, tell you shit.
A goddamn thing.
Yeah,
Is
just,
basically
as in just do your thing.
And then he proceeded to get on stage and just freestyle in 11 different languages with a Spanish guitar for like a half hour with like a drummer with like a 3-piece drum set.
And you're drunk.
And I was like, well, there you go, proving it with like a ruffled shirt on and shit.
Nice, man.
I'm just like, dude.
That sounds like a moment to me right there, man. Yeah. How can people find your work, man?
Check out my Instagram. Chune. Shouts to Chune. Big shouts to Chune. Earn cryptocurrency when you listen to our music.
Yeah, Deuce was explaining it, but explain it again if you can, man.
So Chune is a streaming site, not unlike Spotify or SoundCloud or anything like that, except they pay artists way better, and they do it in cryptocurrency.
And you as a listener can also get money through it, right?
And I Deuce knows how I'm like pretty technologically illiterate for all that. If I'm to be honest.
That's wild.
Let's see. And also, you know, holler at the Cult Classics Superphone. And that really is the number one way to get in touch with us. And that phone number, the audience can text.
Oh, that's the number that Deuce always gives out?
808-400-400 for the layman. 7526.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And Murder of Crows is coming out soon. You know, it's a dark world. You know, you know, just showing, you know, what it's like to be me and what it's like to be Deuce. You know what I mean? And seeing all the trials and tribulations we got to go to, and all the labyrinth of like fucking freaks and weirdos and fucking malignant sociopaths and, you know, other natural predators that I have to deal with on a daily basis, and you know, to do what I do.
You do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's my
Wish
job.
we could talk about more of that shit.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Maybe off the air.
Yeah.
Damn, man. You should write a book.
Yeah.
I'll bug you about it.
Someday.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Some question I didn't ask, some issue, some topic, some art, some message, perhaps?
Let's see. You want to hear about the time I got reported as a dead body on the side of the road?
Hell yeah.
Word. So, that was kind of funny. So, you know, I was hitchhiking from Chapel Hill to Wilmington, and, what do you call it? I get dropped off near a prison, so that means, like, nobody's picking me up. And, I go to sleep, and, like, I used to have to sleep in the rain a lot, so I was really good at it. And so I just kind of made a little, you know, like, incubating thing by, like, having my t-shirt, putting my arms in my t-shirt and having it a certain way that, you know, like, you couldn't, like, it was like an igloo kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just went to sleep. I tied my dog to my knee as usual. He was like my fucking, you know, crackhead deterrent device. And he was much more than that, but I'm just saying that was the purpose he served at that point when I was sleeping. And you know, so I wake up, I found out EMTs apparently have this, like, dead body poking stick, which is kind of cool. And so they're poking me with this thing that looks like a fucking blind man stick, only like 3 times as long. You know, and I wake up and I grab it, and my dog's trying to kill these guys and shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, excuse me, I was sleeping. I was on the side of Interstate 40, so that's, like, kind of weird. And they were like, oh, you know, we thought you were dead. And I was like,
Why'd you pick that spot?
'Cause that's where I was.
You just there.
If I went anywhere else, it would be breaking and entering. Trespassing. Motherfuckers out, and those rednecks will shoot you, man. So I wasn't trying to get, like, you know, fucking get a fucking 10-inch hole in me when I was sleeping. So I can't think of where I have 10 square inches that I could survive that.
You could lose a limb or two, man. Right? We could all.
That's not 10 square inches, though. That's 10 inches in diameter.
Right.
I'm talking about
10 inches.
Yeah, be like your whole shit, right? Pretty much.
I suppose you could probably survive.
I'm just assuming that's what, like, a 20 gauge would give you at, like, really close range.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, so, you know, they're like, oh, you know, we thought you were dead, and I was like, well, I'm not, so can you guys fuck off? And they were like, no, you're being detained. I was like, you guys are fucking EMTs, like, you cannot detain me.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, nope, yes, we can. And I was like, well, I'm walking, you know, and then the cops showed up.
Damn.
Like, well, shit. And then all of a sudden this fucking lumber truck, like, lost, I don't know what it was this day. It was like a fucking piece of metal the size of that refrigerator. And it just, like, fell out from underneath this truck into exactly where I was sleeping. It would have killed me.
Are you serious?
Oh, dead ass, man. And then I was like, oh, you know, so then like, when I had to go to where the cop was, another one lost the same part right where the EMTs had me.
What?
And I'm like
another truck lost the same.
I avoided death twice. That was also the only week I've ever shit myself as an adult. It was food poisoning, not alcohol. You know, it was on the beach in Wilmington. It was terrible because then you gotta kind of wash yourself off, like, in, like, the beach showers that are outside, which totally looks like you're a pervert touching yourself. So it was, like, really bad, you know. Yeah.
Those are good stories, man.
Yeah.
You have another quick story to end on a different note, or do you want to end on that note?
No, I don't. But
Well, then,
let's see.
shit. On that note, we're gonna end on a fucking shit note.
Let's see.
But I love it, man. Good story.
Let's see.
Man.
One more story. Huh.
Any stories behind the tattoos you got?
Oh yeah. Not really. I get tattoos like whenever.
So you got one that says dreaming.
Am I dreaming?
Am I dreaming?
Yeah.
Does that help with lucid dreaming? Are you a lucid dreamer?
It hasn't, and no, I am not. I haven't done that.
What does it say on your knuckles?
Sunlight. I have two sets of knuckles. My regular knuckles say sunlight, and then the lower knuckles, including the thumb, say "I got that PMA," which is a line from a song called a line from a song called "Attitude" from a band called Bad Brains, who is a huge influence on me. If you don't know who Bad Brains is, you should go check them out.
Yeah, I know him. I'm not super familiar with that song.
It's like pretty much one of the greatest music projects ever in existence, in my personal opinion.
Second to cult classics, though, in my personal opinion.
Apples and oranges. Equally great.
Well, cult classics is just getting started, so it remains to be seen.
I'm not gonna let them hear me say nothing like that. But I'm not gonna let them hear me say nothing like that. All praise is due to the all praise is due to God, and all praise is due to the elders.
Well said. All right, Sanity, man. Thank you for coming out here. Thank you for the live performance.
You're very
that was
welcome.
dope.
Yeah.
And I look forward to hanging out with you more and seeing you on the scene.
Oh, bro, I love seeing you all the time. Ian's the homie.
Invite me to more listening parties if they happen.
Dude, just
that was sick.
invite yourself to my house whenever the fuck you want. That's
I'll
pretty
be there,
much
man.
what it is. Like we love you there, man. So
I'm starting to shoot videos again, so maybe we'll shoot some videos.
Not ever not welcome unless we're not there.
Right. That would be weird if I just start showing up when you're not there.
Would be like, what the fuck? But but yeah.
All right, man. Peace, brother.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. And Luna. Tugging on a ball.
Fucking badass dog. I like this dog. Yeah, and I don't want to do freedom either. I'll just say it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, murder of crows.
Stank Nitty.
Deuce ELLIS. Can't smoke weed because I'm trying to stay freed. They need some hair for me. I'm not freestyling right now because I'm so fucking tired. I'm out of my mind. Even though I've conspired to keep it in the gold mine every day. Wasting away as I'm chipping the fray. Avoid toll stations on interstates when paper chasing. Promissories confiscated till you prove taxation. Stripping the blue Benz sends off the wave. I wonder if a microwave scrambles a trace. I wonder if I'm tripping facing annoyedness is void in the first place. I walk up the spine in a spiral like Elijah after fighting with an angel. Meditation pretty vacant. I shoot my sex pistol in your navel naked on vacation. Incarnated with consciousness retained. Discarded bodies, sarcophagus and crosses. Suspects rage cause I'm faded. Walking with unwanted bums on Molly and K. Working pages close to cost. Making it rain for a taster. High stakes snakes steal for the elation of being fake bosses. I say waving paper in your face in basements. Taking Sid flossing. Sauce thicker than my cock is. Yo.
Murder of crows in the building. Stank Nitty.
Stank Nitty, burn down gated communities.
Killer. Yeah.
Yo. Rolling balls on the residual. Mad spiritual. Running laps around the sun in the orbit of Nibiru. Faster than the average individual. Dips out the trap for raps and back. All while crippled caused by drug-induced brain dimples. I keep it simple. The gutter got me in the sky, nimble like a osprey. All green, wall town to Wall Street. Out pounding concrete, swimming in the biggest petri dish. Driving in the rotten fish and running coffee shits. We rock with vomit 42nd and 8th. Identical stains, dread, Stanton, and hate. A piece of me is still in front of Mickey D's in a state of decay. Ayy. Yo. Life ain't a bitch. I'm chillin' in a rusted out Impala on blocks. Double parked over the bridges north of Harlem and Bronx. Eat the pussy like I'm starving. Passed out, assed out, rotten carcass. Bars retarded, Parsephardic, scarred Marxist. Velociraptor, straight out the tar pits. Catalytic factor, I spark it. I keep it family, fuck a partridge. I'm on my park shit. Born dead, old well abortion. Decapitated with forceps. Torso shredded, tossed in Hepsi Pond with swarms of horse rigs. Resurrected in the gutter with a horse trick with your shit. If you was in my head, you'd fucking force quit. You count your blessings, peep the lessons, this is core shit. Oh, what's next? What's next? Trying to keep it lively. I know y'all in the Instagram live world. I love y'all. Oh, we doing this? Oh, yo.
We hard to kill, so we hard to kill.
What?
Cause we hard to kill, so we hard to kill.
White collar dom, Amazon, your mom to the domicile for the bomb, sloppy style. Times changing, hang and be appropriated, new equation replaced by AI. Ancients say, never look at Satan with a straight eye. You ain't listen cause you with the mission. Go ahead, flex your best desk spot for the desk spot at the sweatshop. When the desk flips, you best beg for a headshot.
When the hands hit the wall and you swallowed by the floor,
do you scream and piss your drawers?
What you gonna do?
When the strongest crew's sights on you.
Now what you gonna do?
Cause we hunt to kill, say we hunt to kill. Oh shit. I missed a bar cause I'm up in the stars. I've gone so far. Paper bag race measures, Occam's ox state your ancestors traded nation for nomenclature to evade debt collectors, war criminals, state property, game peace monopoly, made on some plate shit. Fluff eagle nuts like a fluffer paid in game chips. Krampus, casino campus, played grips, ran by mans who brought war profits from the caucus. What you gonna do when the hack's out the wall? Not by the floor. Do you scream and piss your drawers? What you gonna do when the strongest crew's sights on you? Now what you gonna do? We don't hunt to kill, so we hunt to kill. What you gonna do?
When the hands come out the
Wall,
swallowed by the floor.
Do you scream and piss your drawers? What you gonna do when the strongest crew sets sights on you? Now what you gonna do?
Cause we hunt to kill, so we
build invisible bridges for indigenous subliminal, infiltrate airspace, ghost dirigible. Can erase me as I get rid of you. Dead elements, overwhelmed kinetic predators already eating as I kill you. Non-fictitious figment, psychic calisthenics, my revenue. Reflective of divine intention, psychedelic testament. I remember like elephants. Let me say something about that song. That song is about what they want to do with all of us. Don't let your mom be Amazon. Fuck Jeff Bezos, whatever the fuck his name is. The cards kings carry the deal, fate very endlessly. The deck in my possession also functions as a weapon. Target, epicenter of aggression. Empathic magic attack, liquid crystal apostle. Swift heat seeking sickle of the apocalypse. No props for monoliths. Impossible optical flossing with monocles, flowing with miracles, rooted ethereal. My group is imperial, spiritual. Eat you like cereal, perfect material. Unknown traits, I sit alone and wait till we face to face. I like to roam about place to place, cause you never know. It's hard to pin me down. I win my ground against pimps and hoes and clowns on the day to day. Got something to say? Get it out of the way, speed up the process. No one likes to suffer a long death. Don't make it a contest. The context is a fox nest. The cards kings carry the deal fate very endlessly. The deck in my possession also functions as a weapon. Target, epicenter of aggression. I'm not a soldier, I'm a warrior. I take 0 orders from all of ya. No gods, no masters presiding over me. Root to crown my existence, bust a nut in Earth's ovaries. Sweet comes all over me. We move perfectly invested. You're listening to a dawn crested. As the sun reaches each corner of the sky, as it rises, as do I. Full spectrum electric, span the radius. Tight, blessed to manifest, trek with the message. Making sounds underground like cicadas is reflective. Separate from perspective, every combination laid into my matrix. Miracles, abominations, all the same elements. Distinction is losing its relevance. Heaven sent, I'm just a vagrant, urinating on the most celebrated. The cards kings carry the deal fate very endlessly. The deck in my possession also functions as a weapon. Target, epicenter of aggression. I'm so off. Yo. We propel. Eagles don't propel.
While we got some time, man.
What are we doing now?
Stank Nitty with the bars.
Stank Nitty, burn down gated communities, blast Catholic priests and sacristies.
You know what I mean?
This is a
Let 'em know about
revolution.
Murder Crows
Murder of Crows, baby.
coming soon.
Yep, coming soon.
Full
Murder of
album.
Crows, that's me and Deuce ELLIS. Right here. Yo, what's up?
Take our time with this. You know?
Yeah, it's true. Y'all can't hear the music because it's on the headphones, but y'all are gonna see the podcast.
That's why you gotta wait for the album.
And you gotta wait for the album because that's what it really is. Yo,
The bars is like.
yo, I'm so high. I thought the moon was a headlight when I looked up at the sky. Running around headless, sighting all directions. Every day is heaven on some never ever die. Never die.
Never die.
Never die.
Never die.
Every day is heaven on some never ever 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 die.
Die.
Never die, never die, never die, never die, never die. I'm a magic magnet matchstick. I'm always where the gas is, it's in the fabric. What I attract is elaborate. Beyond next, I eat complex aminos. Scream like eagles, I need clean dough. Free throw through speakers and subs. Seeds of love for tweakers and thugs. Transient, no ID, I sneak in the club. Gamble it like a gram of the family shit. Bobbing, weaving, heaving freedom. West to east, then east to Eden. I breathe so well in the smell of decay. I'm like a cat, but I die 9 times a day. I always find a way, like an alligator out the sewer drain. Die every time I open my eyes and rise to become the whole sky. Though it's true, only few relate in a feudal state. I'm so high. I thought the moon was a headlight when I looked up at the sky. Running around headless, sighting all directions. Every day is heaven on some never ever die. Never die. never die.
Never die.
Every day is heaven on some never, ever, 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 ever die. Never die, never die, never die, never die, never die. My breath is what I had for breakfast. Yo, 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 yo. My breath is what I had for breakfast. Yo, yo, yo. Water with a splash of lemon. You got highly visible on there. My breath is what I had for breakfast. Yo. I already did that, didn't I?
That's all they get.
That's all y'all get.
That's it.
I love y'all.
Show's over. Pack it up.
Man, peace.
You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Let's stop referring to the internet as a place. That's very
Brooklyn,
dangerous.
so we say here.
Slippery
Say
slope.
goodbye, just say here.
Slippery slope.
You know what
Let
I
me
mean?
tell y'all something. I'm not going to tell you where I am, but I will tell you I found a fucking Jimson weed plant. Very, very powerful psychedelic plant just around the corner the other day. I didn't even know what the fuck I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Woo! So if somebody wants to, like, you know, trip balls, maybe bleed out of their kidneys and shit,
Oh, is that what that was?
holler at that shit. Oh, yeah.
Kidney bleeding.
I didn't know what it was.
I'm not going to tell you what street it's on, but I'm on it. Peace. I love y'all.
Stank Nitty out.
Yo, dudes.
That was sort of good.
Oh, dude.
That was awesome. And on the T-Rex. Cool, man. Shit is fun.